Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nerd Den here once again, and in today's video I am going to be doing my review for the first episode of WandaVision, because episodes 1 and 2 have released on Disney Plus today. Now I am aiming to get both of my reviews out for episodes 1 and 2 today, so if you are excited for that, leave a like rating and be sure to subscribe, because I'll be doing reviews for each episode as they drop every week, and I'll be aiming to do reviews for the other Disney Plus shows releasing this year, for Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, Miss Marvel, and everything like that. So without further ado, let's jump into what I thought of the first episode of WandaVision. And I've got to say, it did certainly welcome me back to the whole theme of the MCU, because we haven't had any Marvel, like Disney Marvel property anyway, since July 2019, that was Spider-Man Far From Home. So jumping back into this universe after over a year away, due to Black Widow being delayed and the Eternals being delayed by the COVID pandemic last year, was a little bit heartbreaking. So, you know, the fact we haven't had like Marvel in a year was just like, oh, okay. It did kind of put me off a little bit, not in terms of like, oh, Marvel's boring, etc. It just like, it slipped to the back of my mind. And then obviously with WandaVision coming out, it's kind of like, oh yeah, Marvel, and I'm starting to build that hype up for the universe now that there's a new property being released. And I've got to say, when I was first watching the trailers and stuff, I was very confused into what it actually is. And there was a lot of theories circling around the internet, and I was like, okay, it seems like there's going to be a few deeper connections to the MCU, and some things that could have, you know, deeper implications for the future. And this series is connected to the next Doctor Strange movie, and it is connected to the next Spider-Man movie, as they are both films that are going to be exploring the multiverse. So that's something that is going to be probably explored in this series as well. But anyway, let's get into the first episode that jumps straight into a 60s sitcom that's pretty interesting. I don't really watch them a lot, but you're kind of used to them through like other mediums, I guess, with like laughing tracks and like cheesy comedy that I thought worked pretty well. And I did like the whole dynamic of Wanda and Vision's relationship that has previously been explored in the movies, but it's nice to see it become like the center of this series, and that's something that's explored between the two episodes. But in this episode in particular, you know, like the whole circumstances of that, oh yeah, they're married, but they don't remember when they got married, they don't remember what they're celebrating on this particular day. And it's kind of interesting to see that, okay, they've supposedly had a life together, but they don't remember that life. And that does kind of set up the premise of the series, that not everything they are seeing is true. It's not all there, it's not real. And yeah, there's a few hints here and there that that's actually the case. And you know, that's something that does pop up into the end credits scene as well, what I'll be talking about in just 1 second. But yeah, in terms of the atmosphere and everything, it's very 60s like, and that's something I really have digged about the show so far. The first episode as well, like the cheesy comedy, as the hint there, it is very cheesy, but apart from that, it's really good, and it does get off to a strong start. And I was worried I weren't going to enjoy it, but I've got to say, I really do enjoy the comedy, and sometimes it's really cheesy, but it works very well. But the supporting cast as well, they don't really do a lot, but the whole character of Agatha, that I do think is going to have a bigger role in the upcoming episodes. She seems to be taking, you know, a more comedic role so far, but I do think it will turn rather sinister as the series progresses. But yeah, really good work here from Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, who play Vision and Wanda respectively. Again, I love the chemistry between the two characters, especially with like the whole sitcom elements as well. They just bounce off each other very well. And if I didn't know this was a Marvel show, I'll be like, okay, this is a really good sitcom, and yeah, it is. But it also has the whole elements of the Marvel movie, and obviously exploring Wanda's powers and everything like that. It's something that I can't wait to see how it progresses. But then, obviously, there are bigger implications than just the sitcom, because it seems to be that there's more than what meets the eye with this WandaVision universe, and it looks like we will be getting an introduction to S.W.O.R.D. very soon, that is like the successor group to S.H.I.E.L.D. that kind of deal with intergalactic threats and everything like that as well. So very interesting that they were kind of hinted at towards the end, and it's kind of interesting to see how this whole like sitcom dynamic how it impacts the real world, because obviously it does look like it is like the whole sitcom layout and everything like that is in Wanda's head. That's why certain things don't make sense, and it'll be very interesting to see how Wanda has ended up in that state after Avengers Endgame, because I do assume that this all takes place after Avengers Endgame, considering Vision's dead. But obviously we will need to have answers to how he survives. But I guess we'll find out. But overall, I did really enjoy the episode. In terms of like, you know, action and everything, obviously there was no action, and it was a very like lightweight start to a series. But I am really invested in seeing how this continues in the series, and I know in episode 2 things get a little bit more plot heavy, so yeah, overall I would have to give it a 9 out of 10. I did really enjoy it, and whilst I felt like it was cheesy in certain places, and yes, I do get that as like the whole sitcom narrative, but yeah, I did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I did, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Be sure to subscribe for more reviews like this and more nerdy stuff, and I'll see you all on my next video. Goodbye for now.